Today, we're going to dive into a really ambitious reform that's tackling a huge global problem. How do we train engineers who are ready for the real world, not just for the classroom?
It's a question that companies and universities have been grappling with for, well, decades. Think about it. We pour all this time and money into education, but are we actually producing graduates who can hit the ground running? Or are they brilliant on paper, but just not prepared for the jobs they're supposed to fill?
And this isn't a problem in just one country. Oh no, it's a global disconnect. There's this persistent, nagging gap between the kind of research that gets done in a university lab and what a factory or a tech company actually needs to, build something.
And the scale of this disconnect? It's honestly staggering. A Washington Post report found that in the United States, as many as 75% of STEM graduates, that's science, technology, engineering, and math, don't even end up working in their chosen fields. That's a massive number. It just goes to show you how wide this gap really is. So what's causing this? Well, a huge part of it boils down to a conflict of incentives. Universities, traditionally, they reward things like publishing academic papers, getting prestigious titles, and hating abstract metrics. But industry, they're desperate for people with practical, job-ready skills who can make a real-world impact from day one. See the problem?
So, to tackle this thing head on, a whole new national blueprint for reform has been put into place. At the very heart of this is the outstanding engineer training reform. Now, the key phrase here is joint school enterprise training. It's basically a coordinated system where universities and companies work together hand in hand to train the next generation of top-tier engineers. And the goals are super specific. This isn't just a vague idea. They're targeting critical, high-tech fields, think AI, computer chips, robotics, to train talent that can create rapid breakthroughs. And this is no small experiment. It's a massive, coordinated effort that involves the government, top universities, and some of the biggest companies out there. So what does this actually look like for the students? Well, it's a pretty radical shift. We're talking about moving from the lecture hall straight to the factory floor. And this quote from a student, I think it just perfectly captures how immersive this program is. Students aren't just, popping in for a one-week tour of a company. No, they become part of the team, working on real projects for a really long time. The whole journey is built around this deep integration. A student partners up with a leading company and spends at least 1 to 2 years working right there, on site. They get mentored not just by professors, but by actual industry experts who are living and breathing these challenges every day. And here's the kicker. Their thesis, their big research project, can't be some abstract academic question. It has to be based on solving a real, genuine problem that the company is facing right now. And to make this all possible, companies have stepped up in a huge way. They've contributed a massive database of over 10,000 real-world problems. So instead of students just guessing what the industry needs, they can pick from this huge library of actual challenges to build their research and their careers around. This really shows the fundamental shift in how success is measured. The old system, sometimes called the 5 onlys, was all about papers, titles, degrees, ranks, and prizes. The classic publish or perish model. But the new system, it rewards actual value. Did you improve an industrial process? Did you design a tangible, practical solution? That's what really matters now.
Okay, so that's the plan. But has it actually worked? Let's take a look at the early results and, of course, the hurdles that still lie ahead.
The numbers from the first 2,000 graduates are pretty striking. Let's break it down. First off, over 80% of these graduates landed jobs right in their specialized fields. That's a huge win. But then look at these raw numbers. This group produced over 2,500 innovative results and secured more than 800 intellectual property rights, many of which are already being commercialized. These aren't just students anymore. They're genuine innovators.
And we're talking about real, measurable impact here. For instance, one master's student designed a flue gas purification system that was actually deployed at a thermal power plant. Right now, it's cutting over 4,200 tons of nitrogen oxides every single year. Let that sink in. This is a student making a massive environmental difference before they've even officially graduated.
But of course, it's not all smooth sailing. The really big challenge now is scale. I mean, how do you take a model that works great at a few elite universities and roll it out across an entire nation? That's going to require consistent standards, seamless communication between thousands of schools and companies. And they're even talking about expanding this model internationally. So a lot of work ahead.
This entire reform is really built on the engineering mindset of systematic problem solving. And that's an approach that's not just for building bridges or writing code. It's something that we can all apply to our own lives.
Let's call it engineer your life. It's just this idea of applying those core engineering principles, analysis, design, and iteration, to systematically and intentionally improve our own personal and professional lives. It's about tangible results over abstract goals.
And it's really just a simple 4-step loop. First, define your problem clearly. Not just, I want to be healthier, but something specific, like, I want more energy. Second, analyze the data. Track your sleep, your diet, notice when you feel tired. Third, design and test a small solution, like swapping that afternoon coffee for a quick walk. And finally, and this is key, iterate. See what works, what doesn't, and adjust your plan. It's all about making small, gradual, data-driven improvements.
And this brings us right back to our central theme. Engineering isn't the only field with this massive gap between theory and reality, right? Think about journalism or medicine or even business. So the final question I want to leave you with is this. What other fields out there could really benefit from building a much stronger bridge between the classroom and the real world?